Welcome back. Today I'm going to be testing my knowledge on metal, generally, just to see how much of a music nerd I truly am. Found a bunch of quizzes that we're going to go through. I've obviously selected eras that I'm into. I mean, I'm not going to choose disco from the 70s. And of course you can play along at home. Let's see how we get on.
Let's get ready to meow!
So the first one here, 39 heavy metal music quiz questions and answers. Let's get on with it. So, when was heavy metal first developed? I'm gonna say the 60s and 70s. There we go. Who is widely considered to be the first metal band to exist in the world? Well, that's obviously Sabbath. Yeah. Which of the following is not an album by Metallica? Meteora. Far better than anything that Metallica actually did. Heavy metal music enjoyed the height of its popularity in which decade? Okay, it's saying heavy metal, and by heavy metal I think of things like Iron Maiden. So I'm gonna go the 80s. Correct. Which heavy metal trend thrived in English during the early 1980s? Which heavy metal trend thrived in English? All of them? I think that means England. Well-written quiz, whoever did this. Well, it's going to be the new wave of British heavy metal, of course. Yeah, obviously. And it was in English, so technically it's not wrong. Symphony of Destruction is a song by which heavy metal band? Okay, this is the first one that I'm not too sure about. I'm going to say... it's definitely not Linkin Park, obviously. I'm going to say Megadeth, because I feel like if it was a Napalm Death song, I would probably know. Yes! Excellent logic. Which of the following is not a subtype of heavy metal music? Gothic metal, Celtic metal, or Germanic metal? That's a confusing question. A subtype of heavy metal music. Because when, normies use the term heavy metal, they could mean deathcore or speed metal. But if it is actually meaning heavy metal, as in heavy metal, I want to say Celtic metal? This is kind of a confusing question. Let's go with B, Celtic metal. Okay. Well, I guess we were all wrong. Megadeth is not a subtype of heavy metal music. Well, we learned something already today. Okay, whatever. Who is the vocalist in the British rock band Led Zeppelin? Well, obviously Robert Plant. Which American heavy metal band is known for songs like Nightmare, Dear God, Hail to the King, or Buried Alive? Ooh, these are three bands I don't know terribly well. But Panic at the Disco and My Chemical Romance I wouldn't really consider to be heavy metal. I'd say the closest thing is Avenged Sevenfold, so I'm going to say Avenged Sevenfold. Ha! Yes. Excellent. Which of the following is not a song by Diamond Head? That's out of my area of knowledge. Well, in the end is Linkin Park. Call Me Four Cuts EP. Oh, that's it. If that's an EP, okay, it's got to be Sweet and Innocent then. Okay. Well, I suppose In the End is quite a vague name for a song.
Hey! Support channel! Like and subscribe! Support and become member! Or support on Buy Me Coffee and PayPal. Thank you!
Which of the following heavy metal bands does not have a self-titled album? Was this Rammstein album called Rammstein, or was it just not titled? I'm gonna say Testament. Yes! Dave Mustaine is known as the vocalist, primary songwriter, and lead guitarist of Megadeth. Why does he hate Metallica? He does not like their lyrics, he was fired from the band, or Metallica stole his ideas. Well, question A is out, because I don't know about that. He was fired from the band, and Metallica did steal his ideas. I guess it's got to be B, right? He was fired from the band? Right, yeah, okay. From which country does the heavy metal Not even going to read that one out loud. Obviously Germany. Come on. What is the favourite stage effect of Rammstein? Fire. Which blues guitarist has a heavy influence on heavy metal music with his mesmerising extended guitar solos? Eric Clapton? Ha 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 ha! That was on an edge there, I wasn't too sure about that one. Which form of music, mixing with rock music, is considered to be the predecessor of heavy metal? Blues? Right? Not marching music. Yeah. Which form of music influenced and merged with heavy metal sounds to establish a subtype known for high energy and shorter songs? Punk. Yeah, obviously. Which even started the break... What the hell is that sentence? Which even started the breakup of Led Zeppelin in 1980? Which event, I think. Again, excellently put together, this quiz. The death of a member. Right. In which year did the Swedish rock band Ghost release the debut album Opus Eponymus? They're really recent, aren't they? Relatively speaking. I don't know Ghost that well. Certainly not release schedules anyway. I'm gonna say 2012. Oh! Okay. I didn't know they'd been around for that long. Seemed like they just came out yesterday. Which of the following features of modern life would contribute to the popularity of heavy metal music, especially in the early 1970s? Which of the following features of This is completely hypothetical. How is this a quiz question? Economic crisis, technological development, or industrialism? All of them. Can I say A, B, and C? Then I'm obviously going to be right. But this is kind of dumb. I'm going to say economic crisis. Okay. I mean, I'd say that's true as well. What is the main role of a bass guitarist in a heavy metal band? To play bass guitar. Going along with the melody, following the drummer, and filling out the song. I mean, again, all three could be the right answer. The main role of a bass guitarist. Filling out the song seems like a bit of a reductionist answer. I'm going to say following the drummer. That seems like the most idealistic answer. What? Okay. Fine. Give a reductive answer then. Respect to you bass players out there, you're underappreciated. This guy doesn't know what you contribute. This is the lyrics from a song by which heavy metal band? My body's burning, it starts to shout. Not much of a lyric guy. I have no idea. I'm not even going to bother guessing. Scorpions, okay, yeah, I would have never have got that. Which is widely known as the most successful heavy metal band of all time? Unfortunately, we know the answer to this, don't we? It's A, Metallica. Songs of which heavy metal bands have lyrics mostly focusing on alienation and pain? Okay, firstly, these are not heavy metal bands, these are new metal bands. And secondly, all three of them, again, focusing on alienation and pain. What would you pick? I'm gonna go with Korn. Right. But again, the same applies to all three of them. Which of the following heavy metal bands had its song featured in the Transformers movie? Okay, I was gonna say Linkin Park. Because there's obviously only been one Transformers movie. Disturbed, Rise Against, or Ministry? Ministry seems unlikely. I'm going to say Disturbed. Yes! What is the meaning of the name Kitty, a Canadian heavy metal band known for consisting of all female members? I did not know Kitty was Canadian. It's just a random name. All members of the band love cats. It sounds contradictory. When I was younger, I assumed Kitty, synonymous with pussycat, shortened to a thing that all ladies have. I thought that was the reason when I was younger. I've never really thought about it aside from that. I'm gonna say B, all members of the band love cats. Okay, The name of the British heavy metal band Judas Priest was chosen based on whose song? I didn't know that was why they chose the name. Judas Priest in a song. Oh, God. 3 artists I really don't enjoy very much, so why would I know this? I'm going to say the Rolling Stones. Nah, Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan's probably the one I know the least about, so that adds up. Robert Ellsworth is the lead vocalist of which heavy metal band? No idea. Overkill. Okay. Which song has won the 2020 Grammy Award for Best Metal Performance? Why would I know that? Why would any metalhead know that? 2020 Grammy Award for Best Metal Performance. Okay. 2020. It's not. Could it be? It can't be Killswitch Engage. They're not Grammy material, are they? I'm gonna say Tempest by Tool. Yes. Which band holds the record for the most wins in the Grammy Award for Best Metal Performance with a total of 6 times? Ugh, my gut says Metallica. This is why I hate Metallica. Which of the following bands covered All Right for Fighting by Elton John? I can't imagine Lamb of God covering an Elton John song. I'm gonna say Judas Priest. Okay. In which subgenre of metal do artists typically adopt pseudonyms and perform in corpse paint? That's gonna be black metal. Yeah, easy peasy. What was the Iron Maiden's mascot called? Eddie. Anne. Yeah, very metal. Which heavy metal band has its debut album called Show No Mercy? That's Slayer. Yeah. Which of the following heavy metal bands formed first? Soulfly, Metallica, or Fear Factory? Metallica again, obviously. Which of the following is not a characteristic of heavy metal music? Distorted guitars, emphatic beats, long lyrics? Not characteristic. Well, obviously it's not going to be A. Long lyrics? As in, like, long words? It's not going to be, no, it's going to be long lyrics, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. Which subgenre of heavy metal is known as hair metal? Glam metal, obviously. They're interchangeable. Nu metal. Hey, nu metal is a subgenre that combines elements of heavy metal and which kind of music? Many. That's the beauty of it. You can chuck in whatever you want and call it nu metal. Blue is not a genre of music. Hip hop and classical. I mean, I suppose you couldn't. I've never heard nu metal with classical. System of a Down had some classical elements in it, but it's not typical, obviously. Yeah, hip-hop, obviously. Last one. Paradise Lost and Anthema are pioneers of which heavy metal subgenres? Ooh, all of these are sort of outside of my realm of expertise. I don't know. Let's go with extreme metal, because that could be anything. Okay, well, I wouldn't never have gotten that. Okay, because of the stupid layout of this website, I will put here my final score. And let's now move on to the next one. That was fun. Meow! Okay, so, moving on to this next one. This is going to be Heavy Metal Bands Part 6, the late 1990s quiz. My era, basically. So, I'll be ashamed of myself if I get any of these wrong. What band released the third album in '98 called Follow the Leader? Wes Borland was the guitarist. Limp Bizkit. Which band released around the Deftones? The Deftones. No one calls them that. What band had a hit song? Sugar System. What masked band released the self-titled album in '99? Obviously Slipknot. What band made the classic Gary Newman song called Cars in 1998? Fear Factory. What band covered Peter Gabriel's song Shock the Monkey with Ozzy in '99? That was Coal Chamber, yes. What band released a covers album called Garage Inc. in '98? Garage Inc. Oh, God, I don't know. I thought I knew Pantera quite well. And Fear Factory. It's not Metallica. It can't be Metallica, because I would remember the name. I'm going to say Megadeth. Max Cavalera left Sepultura in 97, formed the band Soulfly, obviously. What band had a hit song called Push It in 99? Static X. Okay, answers. Korn, Limp Bizkit, Deftones, System of a Down, Slipknot, yeah. Fear Factory, yep. Cold Chamber, yep. It was Metallica! I'm shocked. Okay. Yeah, Soulfly, Static X, yeah. Okay, so what was that? 9 out of 10? That's not so bad. Again, you asked me something about Metallica. Why the hell am I going to know? Dickhead.